This video contains the top 3 best Town Hall 13 attack strategies to 3-star any base. So let's rank them and go step by step so you can earn more 3 stars with these armies. So let's start with our number 3 army, the Queen Charge Hybrid. This is broken down into 3 parts, starting with the Queen Charge. Typically, you want to make sure that you are funneling the queen. So using a battle blimp with yetis inside along with a rage can actually work well. Typically, you're looking for an inferno tower, scatter shot, or even the town hall. Even if you don't lure out the CC, that's completely fine, because you still have the queen charge. You could also use stuff like the flame flinger or just use sneaky goblins and baby dragons to create the funnel without using a siege machine. But in other cases, you want to make sure that you're getting your queen in, using sneaky goblins to cut off the other side of the funnel, and going in specifically towards either the town hall and the CC, or specifically the clan castle and other defenses. The clan castle is the most important, so you want to go where you can get the most amount of value, and in this case, it would be the town hall. Now, from this point, you can then really start setting up the rest of your attacks since you got the value that you needed and the funneling for the queen charge. Now next, you're going to be creating a little bit of funneling using the Barbarian King and also sending in your hybrid. This is incredibly important, so especially if you are not using the Siege Barrack, you're just using the Barbarian King. This is where you can then send in the hybrid into a given area. For instance, going in towards the Eagle Artillery is a big plus, because you want to make sure that you're getting that down sooner rather than later. Other than that, using a heal alongside then using a Grand Warden ability right after to make sure that the miners and the hog riders are staying alive. Of course, you also have the back end where you typically want to drop in a heal spell to make sure that none of the splash defenses like the scatter shots are doing a lot of damage. Keep in mind that you could also have the healers switch on to your miner hog hybrid, which can work pretty dang well, but don't bank on it happening every time. While everything's being sent in, you should be able to have cleanup troops or even something like the Queen, the regular miners, or in this case, the Barbarian King still up moving through the base. This is going to allow you to have much more comfortability, and it can really work well. So this strategy is very flexible, has a lot of different ways that you can use siege machines, and it pretty much can be forced on any base. In our number 2 spot, we have the Blizzard Lalo. This is also broken up into 3 parts, mainly consisting of, first, the Blizzard. You mainly want to look for as many defenses as you can, or the Town Hall and the CC. So use a Lava Hound, the Blimp, and use an invisibility before the Blimp pops. You'll then use a Rage and start timing your invisibility spells every 4 seconds. This is what's going to allow you to get the most amount of value from your invisibility spells and your Blizzard. In some instances, you might even be able to remove the enemy RC or the enemy Queen, but luring out the CC is definitely a nice plus too. Following your Blizzard, it is the Sui hero. This is using the Barbarian King and Archer Queen alongside any other support troops to deal with the enemy clan castle, whatever is left over if the super wizards didn't kill it already, and then deal with defenses. So if you're going into the base and you are going in away from the town hall, you're not removing it with a blizzard, then you want to use your heroes to go towards the town hall. Making sure that you are funneling the heroes to go in towards there with stuff like sneaky goblins or baby dragons is a very, very vital thing. And while that's going on, you also have the Royal Champion that can be used to get even more defensive value. While this is going on and you're guaranteed to get it, you can then start your Lalo. Now from here, I would go ahead and drop in a Lava Hound with a couple groups of balloons with the Grand Warden and the Headhunters. You want to make sure that you are using the Warden ability over the balloons there, so the Headhunters can also become invincible. So as you're moving in, you want to use another group of a Lava Hound and balloons, and you want to let them merge together towards the back end. It's really important for that. As for spells, freeze spells specifically for splash damage defenses, and of course, haste spells to get those balloons to key buildings. This includes splash buildings like the Multi-Inferno and including the Wizard Tower. It is really important in that regard. But as long as you can pretty much clear as much value, that is going to be it for the Lalo, with some cleanup with minions and lava pups. Of course, this strategy is not as easy, but what is easy is using my creator code Corrupt, to support me in everything I do here on the channel. And of course, in the #1 spot, we have an easy strategy that anyone can use, the Super Barch. This is broken up into only 2 parts, starting with the Super Archer Blimp. You typically want to start this with 5 balloons in the Grand Warden. This means that the Grand Warden will follow the balloons, and then use the Battle Blimp, and just before it leaves the aura, use the Grand Warden ability. If there is a tornado trap going towards the Town Hall, you might have the Blimp pop in the wrong area. So when it drops, use invisibility, 2 clones, a rage, and then time your invisibility spells every 4 seconds. So just before the previous one leaves, drop in another one. You want to go for as many key defenses. This includes scatter shots, the Eagle, Town Hall, Infernos. Those are the type of things that you want to go for. It is really important to get the most amount of value from this and clearing out the core. It's going to make it easier for your Super Barbarians and Heroes. From here, you move into the Super Barbarians and the Heroes. Now, what's really important about this is you want to create the funnel first, so the Heroes are not going in the direction that you don't want to go. Of course, you will have to deal with the CC, so you might want to bring a Valkyrie or Super Valkyries, shocking I know, in order to deal with skeleton traps, and you can also use them to deal with enemy CC ground troops. This can be and can work wonders. Other than that, you're just going to start surgically placing in your Super Barbarians. You don't always have to use them. You want to make sure that you are using them every so often, because you have a limited amount. They don't have that much HP. Their rage doesn't last all too long. So you really need to make sure that you are prioritizing the number that you have, so you can clear multiple buildings with just a couple. You do want to make sure, though, that you are saving the hero abilities. If you have to use the Barbarian King ability or the Archer Queen ability early, that's fine, but you might end up either time failing or failing altogether. Keep in mind as well is that the Apprentice Warden does make a bulk of this army, as it's providing a lot of HP to both of your heroes, and if it dies, it's fine. As long as you can clear a larger chunk of the base with him alive, that is where he gets the value. Other than this, you can then pretty much just allow yourself to move across the base using the Royal Champion to help clear multiple buildings, and still using the Super Barbarians to clear out multiple structures. As you get towards the back end, you might just span them all in, which is completely fine. As long as your RC is still at roughly a decent amount of HP, still in the green, she can still clear through and get a large portion of the base down. This is a strategy that is tried and true, really strong throughout the game, and definitely a must use. And hopefully this helps you find the right army for the right base. Thank you to my channel members who are constantly supporting me here on the channel. If you want to join channel memberships, the join icon is right next to my channel name. Of course, make sure to check out the guide videos on all 3 of these armies. They are on screen here, and I will see you there.